Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at the 10 best Legend of Zelda side quests. For this list, we'll be showcasing in no particular order the 10 best quests that distracted us from our main adventures throughout the Legend of Zelda series. If a quest wasn't necessary to beat the game, it was considered for this list. Which Zelda side quest did you love playing through? Let us know in the comments. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Epona, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. It may seem strange, considering Ocarina opens on Link riding Epona and we all likely ended up getting her anyway, but you don't actually have to get Link's steed to beat the game. However, it's more than worth it. Not only does Epona make getting around Hyrule much easier and quicker, but the side quest involves some of the more interesting NPCs in the game: the devious Ingo, the lazy Talon, and the wholesome Malon. Link must first learn Epona's song as a child before racing Ingo twice as an adult. Besting the cowardly traitor to see Malon take control back of her father's ranch is pretty satisfying. So too is being able to call Epona whenever you want. Cawlin's Love Letter, The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword. Cawlin is one of Groos's cronies, who spends most of the game helping his able-bodied friend taunt and berate Link. At a certain point, he'll ask Link to deliver a love letter to Cawlin, which leads to one of two outcomes. You can give the letter to a ghost found in the Academy's bathroom at night, which will fall in love with Cawlin and spend subsequent nights in his room, caressing him as he sleeps. But if you give it to Cawlin, it leads to her getting together with Pippet instead, sending Cawlin running away crying. Either way, Cawlin doesn't get what he wants, but you get 5 gratitude crystals and the reward of enacting sweet emotional revenge on one of Link's tormentors. Defending Romani Ranch, The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. While Epona is required in Ocarina's follow-up, helping Romani Ranch isn't. But how could you say no when a sweet child asks for help against an alien invasion? Fighting them off isn't too hard, but where the aliens came from and why they want the ranch's cows is one of the biggest mysteries in the game. Afterwards, you can escort Romani's older sister Cremia to Clock Town while defending against the vile Gorman brothers. Completing both parts gets you a bottle of milk and a shiny new mask, but the sisters are also some of the most engaging NPCs in the game, which is saying a lot. It's also worth visiting the ranch after the first night if you don't help to see how alien abduction has impacted the sisters. Eventide Island, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Over the course of Breath of the Wild, you build up your inventory of impressive weapons and resources. But Eventide Island strips you of everything, save for your Sheikah Slate and any champion abilities you may have unlocked. The island tasks you with collecting 3 ancient orbs to gain access to a shrine. You'll only have resources the island offers you while having to contest with its enemies, one of which is a Hinox wearing an ancient orb as a necklace. It's a great test of the player's abilities without relying on an arsenal. It forced us to plan strategically before acting, like one big combative puzzle. And it's definitely the best shrine quest the game has to offer. The Big Goron Sword, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Trading quests have been seen in many Zelda games, though one of the most beneficial was in Ocarina of Time. Beginning with a Kuko egg in Kakariko Village, this quest took Link all over Hyrule. Matching each item with the correct NPC required paying attention and a certain amount of exploration, as some of the characters were hidden in small corners of the world. But it was a fun distraction from the main adventure, and a distraction more than worth following. It eventually earned Link the Big Goron's sword, which is longer and twice as strong as the Master Sword, but at the cost of Link's shield. Mallow Mart, The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. Mallow is a sassy, business-savvy baby, and by far one of the best NPCs in Twilight Princess. He eventually opens his own shop in Kakariko Village, though Link can help him expand. It does take 1,000 rupees, as you'll have to repair Hyrule's Eastern Bridge first. Then you can either pay 2,000 for Mallow to purchase a rival store in the castle's town, or 200 with the caveat that you give hot spring water to a certain Goron. But ponying up the dough is a small price to pay. With the Mallow Mart Castle branch open, Link will be able to afford the magic armor, which makes him invincible by siphoning rupees. Seeing the snooty owner dance around in a Mallow Mart uniform is just a nice bonus. The Nintendo Gallery, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. One of the best side quests in The Wind Waker doesn't actually get you anything, but is nonetheless immensely rewarding to complete. First, you'll have to finish Lenzo's quest on Windfall Island to get the deluxe Picto Box. After that, you'll be able to visit Karlov at the Nintendo Gallery located by Forest Haven. This eccentric sculptor will lovingly craft models of any character or enemy you show him a picture of. With multiple rooms for different islands and environments, filling each one is a grand accomplishment in and of itself. This obviously isn't a quest for everyone, but we loved admiring our collection of minifigurines and basking in this entry's unique art style. The first trading quest, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Getting the Big Goron sword is great, but we also have to pay respect to the franchise's first trading quest. It begins with a Yoshi doll that Link earns at the Crane game in Mabe Village. Like in Ocarina, the quest takes Link all over Koholint Island, interacting with its strange inhabitants. However, while completing it is optional, parts of it are interwoven into the story. For example, giving bananas to Kiki gets you the next item, but also gets you access to a mini-dungeon. And instead of earning a stronger version of a weapon you already have, Link acquires the boomerang, one of the franchise's most useful items. From the ground up, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. After Link purchases a home in Hateno Village, Bolson construction employee Hudson will set off to establish a new town. You'll find him again in the Akala region, where he'll ask for Link's help. While part of this quest requires a bit too much wood collecting, the other part has Link recruit various NPCs to join Hudson's village. Each one is dissatisfied with their current life and jumps at the chance to open up shop in a new location. Seeing the town grow with each step is joyful, and the quest even ends with a wedding. More NPCs will move in, creating an adorable little community where once it was a desolate rock in the middle of a lake. Anju and Cafe, The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Half of Majora's Mask consists of side quests, though the most emotionally fulfilling revolves around these two doomed lovers. Before the game begins, poor Cafe has his wedding mask stolen before being transformed into a child by the Skull Kid. He then hides out, with Link offering aid to his loved ones before helping Cafe track down the thief. It's the longest side quest in the game, bringing in multiple interesting NPCs like the heartbroken yet steadfast Anju and the anxiety-ridden Postman. It requires keeping track of a multitude of events across the time loop, but it leads to several masks, pieces of heart, and other rewards. And everything is worth it to see the two finally reunite.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.